Spring has officially arrived in Belgium, and that means the return of our beloved white gold, the white asparagus. I'm making a dish called Asperges op Vlaamse Wijze, or Flemish style asparagus served with a rich mixture of hard-boiled eggs, melted butter and fresh parsley. It's a simple, honest meal that relies entirely on the quality of its ingredients. I start by boiling 6 eggs. Using a piercer, I punch a small hole in the base of each egg. This allows a little water to get underneath the shell while cooking, making them much easier to peel later on. I start the eggs in cold water, and once it reaches a boil, I let them cook for 9 to 10 minutes. I move on to the asparagus. White asparagus are much more delicate than the green counterparts. A great trick to find out if your asparagus is fresh is to rub 2 stalks together. If they're truly fresh, they should produce a distinct squeaking sound. White asparagus needs to be peeled thoroughly, as the outer skin can be quite fibrous. I lay them flat on my cutting board to prevent them from snapping under pressure. Using a vegetable peeler, I carefully peel them from just below the head all the way down to the base. I trim off the root end, trying to keep the stalks a similar length. I place the peeled asparagus into a pot. The pot I'm using is a special asparagus pot, which allows the stalks to stand upright. The advantage here is that the tougher bases are submerged in boiling water while the delicate tips stay just above the waterline, cooking gently in the steam. This ensures the entire stalk is cooked perfectly at the same time. I add a generous pinch of salt and bring it all to a gentle simmer. Once it reaches a simmer, I turn off the heat and let them finish in the hot water. Depending on their size, they will need anywhere from 2 minutes to the small ones up to 8 minutes for the thicker stalks. You are looking for a tender texture, but they still need to retain some bite. Once the asparagus are cooking, I move on to the classic topping. I peel my 6 hard-boiled eggs and using my fork, I roughly mash them in a bowl. I melt 250 grams of good quality unsalted butter in a small saucepan over low heat. Meanwhile, I finely chop a handful of fresh curly parsley. Once the butter is fully melted, I skim off the milk solid from the surface to somewhat clarify it. You can skip this step if you prefer a richer taste. I add the mashed eggs and the chopped parsley straight in the pan with the warm butter. I season it generously with salt, pepper and freshly grated nutmeg. I give it a quick stir to combine everything. The asparagus are now ready. I gently lift the basket out of the pot and let the stalks drain thoroughly. Time to plate. I arrange the asparagus neatly side by side on a warm plate and cover the lower half with a generous helping of the warm egg and butter sauce. And there you have it, Asperges op Vlaamse Wijze, the true taste of Belgian tradition. Enjoy!